Hey guys, what's up? Hamza here, and today I'd like to give you a review of my HTC HD Mini, which is a Windows mobile device running on Windows 6.5 Professional Edition. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about Windows operating system here. I'm just gonna talk about the piece of hardware that HTC has made. So without further ado, let's take a look at the highlights or the specs of this device. So it runs a Qualcomm 600 MHz processor with that 384 MB of RAM, 512 MB of ROM, and well, that's about it. It also supports micro SD cards for extended memory, and of course 5 megapixel camera with touch sensitive autofocus available, also no LED. And it's of course a touchscreen device with capacitive touch technology and multi-touch input, and the resolution of the screen is 320 by 480 pixel, and it has a size of 3.2 inches diagonal. Okay, let's look at the device itself. Okay, on the build quality front, I think HTC have done a brilliant job. The phone feels absolutely solid, especially the all glass front. It feels solid. The glass is very much scratch resistant. I won't recommend putting this phone with your keys in your pocket, but it certainly will prevail anything that you would normally throw at a phone, and it will still shine at the end of the year. Okay, on the back you have the whole back cover, and you see that there aren't any joints in the back cover. It seems like a single piece. That's because it joins right here, and that's a nice thing because the phone seems like a single piece device. And of course on the back you can see those 4 screws coming out, giving that industrial look. So on the front you have your call making button, home button, start button, back button, and the call end button. And on the top you have the HTC logo and a steel grid that has the speakerphone for your calls, and of course the proximity sensor to turn off the device when you put this up against your face. On the bottom you have the micro USB slot with that Leonard attachment hole and a microphone. On the right side you have your volume rocker. Sorry, that was the left side. On the right side you got nothing. On the top you have the power/screen lock button. On the back you have the 5 megapixel camera with that a speakerphone grill, and the speakerphone is quite powerful on this model. Okay, so that's that. But before we move on to the software and the overall screen of the device, I want to show you something special. Let's take off this cover, and as you can see, the phone has a totally different personality within. It's bright yellow in there. Now most of the people think this is a ridiculous idea, hiding a beautiful part of the phone beneath the cover. I mean, you won't be taking this cover off and on to show everyone what this phone really is. But I think HTC put that for the owner himself, so that whenever you open this phone it would put a smile on your face. Okay, so that's that. The phone is very well built, so we established that. Let's unlock the screen. The screen has colors of 65,000 colors, so there might be some shades that you won't be able to see on this screen that you would see on a 16 million color screen. But apart from that, the screen is quite brilliant. And in the sunlight, well, in the sunlight it works okay. I won't recommend it using in the sun because well, you can't clearly see anything. There's a lot of glare, as you can see from the screen itself. On the sensitivity front, the screen is very good. You just have to touch the screen very slightly and it will respond to that. And in terms of multi-touch capabilities, it works pretty nice as well, as you can see. And the 600 MHz processor is quite snippy. You won't have any problem with the processing or phone slowing down. Well, there are some points where it will slow down, but not many. And this is also a sample shot of its macro capabilities with this phone camera. And as you can see, the quality is quite brilliant, but the lack of LED flash, or in fact any flash, means you won't be able to use this phone in the dark. The HTC Sense, or in Windows Mobile case the touch flow interface, is quite fluent. Sadly, you won't be able to see that interface in the Windows 7 phones, because Microsoft has restricted these overlays or interface overlays in the Windows 7. So this might be the last time we see that on any Windows Mobile operated system or phone. Okay, now let's go into the messaging and type up a new message so you can see the keyboard of this phone. Now the phone has the same keyboard as the iPhone, but it is a bit smaller because the screen is smaller, and for my big thumbs I found this to be a little bit disturbing, but not disturbing enough. You can get used to it real quickly, and especially if you use their corrective system or predictive text, whatever, this will work absolutely fine. But sadly, I don't type English messages that much. I usually type Roman Urdu messages, so I have turned that off. And even with that, the screen is extremely precise and you won't have any problem finding your correct words. So let's just type in my name here. So I made a little mistake there. I typed X instead of Z, but all in all, I think for the screen size this is a really good keyboard. There's the music player, pretty sleek, and it's quite loud, especially even on the split headphones. This phone produces really loud music, and I like it very much because the voice quality is really good, and if you use decent headphones, this phone really does pack quite a punch in terms of voice quality and loudness. And of course you got the usual HTC goodies here. My concerns with this phone, well, my main concern is the Windows Mobile operating system. It's not just that good enough or easy to use. I mean, well, even if I'm a technical person, I have to be an absolute nerd to operate the Windows operating system, especially the 6.5 version. It's just not the cup of tea for people who like easy to use operating system. So it's definitely not a match for the Android or even for the iPhone. And those are definitely leading the future. Okay, so let's round this review up. So the good points of this phone, well, it's really small, which means it can easily slide into your pocket and you won't feel the bulk of carrying a smartphone with you. And of course the processor is quite good and the operating system is quite nice as well. The HTC Flow interface, I mean. What are the bad points of this phone? Well, the first point I have to say is the battery time. The phone cannot last over a day. You would have to charge it every night. Otherwise, you won't be able to survive another day with it. So that might be inconvenient for some and for some not, but it is definitely inconvenient for me. But apart from that, I think this phone is pretty much flawless if you take out the Windows operating system. But there are the usual Windows operating system that you can overcome by using this phone for a short period of time or maybe a month or two. You'll get used to it and then you'll see the quite full potential of this phone. If you have any question, leave that in the comment section. Please thumbs up this video if you like it. And oh, that's about it. It's Amir Hamza signing off.